What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction. Back with some more Thompson Twins. Back to their 1983 album, Quick Step and Sidekick. Mentioned it before. I'm going to go through this album in chronological order, and then when I'm done with that album, I have more albums of theirs to go through. It's a group that I knew in a sort of fleeting way back in the day. I won't mention the song that I knew, which I think is a song that a lot of people knew. Han Solo told me not to mention this again, or he threatened me with some musical harm. In any case, yeah, I don't know the majority of their catalog, so this is going to be a very interesting journey. I've enjoyed both songs so far, and indeed, like when I listened to Lies, I realized that that's a tune I did know back in the day. Maybe I didn't know by name, or I didn't really associate, oh, that's the same group that did the other song that I'm familiar with. But bottom line, I realized in that reaction that I had heard that one before, and I enjoyed that a great deal. It's a very fun tune. So yeah, we're up to the next tune in the album, which is called If You Were Here. To again, just briefly speculate about the title, there's a suggestion, an implication in the title that there's a separation between the narrator and one or more people who are somewhere else. There's also a suggestion that if this other person or persons was in the location in question, the circumstances or conditions would be different, theoretically more advantageous, more positive in some way. So yeah, it could be a lament, it could be a regret, it could also be a hope, it could be a positive wish that someone could eventually come there. It might not be beyond the threshold of possibility. So yeah, at the very least, it suggests to me a separation, whether that's in actual physical space, maybe it's an emotional separation, maybe it's a separation in time. Someone who's passed away, and you're saying, man, if you were still here, I'd have sense of what I'm doing, or my life would have a clearer trajectory, and so on. So that separation could manifest in a number of different ways and sort of different types of distance. So we'll have to see, but let's get to it. This is Thompson Twins from their 1983 album, Quick Step and Sidekick, and the track is called If You Were Here. Oh. I would have remembered that intro.
If you were here, I could deceive you.
Okay.
If you were here, you would believe. Would you suspect my emotion?
What about his emotion?
I want to part of this anymore. The rainwater drips through the crack in the ceiling.
I like those key hits.
My time on the bed. Just like the rain, I'll be always falling, yeah. Only to rise and fall again.
The vocals are like buried a little bit, right? Really interesting tone, I love it.
If you were here, I could deceive you.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking about that approach
If you were here,
when speculating about the title.
believe. Would you suspect my emotion? Wondering, yeah. I'm not want to part of this anymore.
hear that again, and part of it is like he was singing in kind of this low voice in a couple of the lines, and like I think there were maybe some effects on the voice, or at least there were other sonic layers that were sort of like covering it a bit. So I didn't hear all the lyrics. Definitely got to give that another immersive listen. Which again, for those of you who are relatively new here, when I do these reactions, especially for a tune that I realize that I am very much hearing for the first time. I do successive listens with headphones, and I really try to catch anything, any lines that I may have missed. Now sometimes, because of the way the sonics of a tune are, I might hear a tune 5 or 6 times and I'm still not sure of anything, or not of anything, but of all the lines. And in that case, I will like look up like the written lyrics. Regardless, I enjoyed the sonics. Had some really cool layers, and like the instrumental sort of sections. It had this like. It was light, but it felt like there was a bit of a warp, a bit of a twist, so it kind of had that light, dark sort of synthesis feel. But yeah, a really cool tune. It felt a little short, but again, maybe that's because I wasn't quite sure of exactly what the lyrics were doing. Because sometimes if you express an idea and you sort of cover what you're trying to do with it, it could be 2.5 minutes, and that's all you need to say. I listen to a lot of punk rock, as you can probably see. And there are a lot of really good punk rock tunes that say a lot in like 1.5 minutes, and that's it. So I have to hear it some more. But yeah, my impression when it ended is that like, oh, I could have used like another minute of that. So yeah, bottom line, I did enjoy it. Got to hear it some more. Do let me know if you have an angle on the lyrics. And again, I'm going to keep going through this album. I'm just going through a lot of deep dives now, so it might take a few days between every one of the reactions, but ultimately, there are more Thompson Twins albums available after this. Shout out to Han Solo, big appreciation. Yeah, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.